Alright folks, this is ACT, the Ace Charming Time, and we will be doing our season review, Season 1 and Season 2 of Luther. This is going to be Part 1 right here. I'll make a separate video for Part 2. Luther is a British crime drama, centered around one man, Luther, who is basically a private detective. They use a lot of letters in front of his name, like DC. Don't know what that is, but I gotta say, I was recommended this show for someone who thought that I needed to find something to do before Dexter. I have to say that this show is probably right up there with Dexter. Right off the bat, you get some grisly scenes. I have seen the first and the second season. I must say that the first season is very good. The second season was fairly short with only 4 episodes. First one had 6. I'm going to not do as many spoilers through it, but the first season starts off with a pretty gruesome murder. And then there's a character there that becomes an integral part into the rest of the series. And I believe that that is probably one of the main facets of the TV show that really sparks it. The inclusion of this character you don't expect. It's definitely not something that you've seen in a lot of other shows, at least not that I've seen. I watch a lot of TV shows. This is way better than any CSI, Law and Order crap. I mean, this is pretty gritty. I would have to say that after watching it, it would probably have to be on FX or one of the HBO or Showtimes if it came over to the US. It does not need to be adapted. I will go out there and say that. It works perfectly well. I am an American. I know a lot of you guys may be from Britain and understand this show and have seen it, but as an American, the show works. I understand exactly what's going on. They do not use language that I don't understand. I mean, a couple of times they may use catchphrases, but you can normally understand what they're saying. The supporting cast is amazing. I have to say that I do not recognize really anyone from this series. I went into it barely knowing the main character, who has been in like Rock and Rolla and a couple of other kind of movies, but he wasn't never really like the main guy. He's been in a couple of other shows, but he does an amazing job in this as a distressed cop. I cannot explain too much about the season, but I will have to say that every single episode will leave you wanting more. And since the first season and second season are done, you guys can actually go watch it. So it's not going to like leave you on the edge of your seat. If I was watching this in real time, like every week that it came out, I'd be pretty pissed actually, because they leave really good cliffhangers. They also do an interesting thing at the end of the credit scene, which I think more shows should do. Maybe this is something in Britain, and you guys can tell me if it isn't. But they will show about a 5-second clip, or not even 5-second, like 2-second clip of the next episode. But then it will go to a credit scene, and you'll just kind of wait for the credits for like 2 seconds, and then it will go back to another scene. So it doesn't actually show you a full 15-second preview like some other shows will. It basically just snippets them, so you just see bits and pieces of them. I thought that was a really cool thing, because as I was watching, I was like, dude, I gotta see how this all turns out. I'll put the links down below in terms of the characters and all that stuff that you can go on to IMDb to check this show out. It got pretty good reviews. It started in the end of 2010. I mean, I would recommend this show going further through the seasons. I do have to say though, I will be explaining a little bit more character-wise in Part 2. If you guys have not seen the show, stop this video and do not watch part 2, because part 2 will get into a little bit more of the character development and the analysis throughout it. So, in conclusion, this show ranks probably way up there along with Dexter. Probably put it ahead of Breaking Bad a little bit in terms of shows that I really find that they did really well. Season 1 was done impeccably well. Season 2, it dropped off a little bit for me, and that's just because of the characters. They had to switch them out a little bit, and you'll know a little bit more about that in part 2. But I do encourage you guys to watch it. All said and done, it's 10 episodes at about an hour apiece. That's 10 hours. It's not really that long for you guys to sit down and watch. I'm not going to write it down below, but of course, if you guys know anything about watching these shows, if you go to icefilms.info, you will end up being able to find Luther in there, and that's where I watch most of my shows, where I stream them. But it is a great show. I really wish it was over here in America. It might be, because I know I have BBC, but I have not checked the actual listings. I will have to say, please check it out, guys. I give it a rave review. Stay tuned for part 2, where I will discuss a little bit more about the characters and the ending to season 1. I'll see you guys all later. This has been The Ace Charming, over and out.